It's an end of an era for North Dakota track and field and cross country. I'm Kyle Doporalski, joined by a couple of guys who have spent a combined 42 years of service coaching at the University of North Dakota. Kevin Galbraith has served as our head track and field coach on the men's side and the women's side since 2011. And Dick Clay, who arrived at North Dakota in 1985 and has served in a variety of roles with this program. And we're here to celebrate them, celebrate the program here with you for the next few minutes. So Kevin, let's start with you. You arrived in 2011 like we talked about. What was going on with the program at that particular time?
Transition. We're in a conference. It was the Great West, but that was the transitional conference from people going up from Division II to Division I.
Right.
And we spent 2 years there. So it was all about thinking about the next thing when I got here.
Coach Clay, how about you? 1985, a long time ago. What was going on with the program in the mid-'80s?
Well, the coach prior to me had resigned and went on to do her doctorate. And so I took off. There had been an interim coach, and then I took over in '85. And not a lot of people on the team. Our first cross-country home meet, I was afraid we weren't going to have enough people to field the team because we had 5 people and one was injured, but she made it. And so we were able to field the team. But I think, we had a small group, but I remember the first meeting we had, I said, come back tomorrow if you want to, move forward. And I'm not here to be a losing program. We're here to try to build it, and everybody showed up the next day, so and all 10 of them.
So here we are in June of 2019, and for both you guys, the same question. Molly Detloff just into the national meet as a first-team Division I All-American earlier in the month. Obviously a tremendous accomplishment, but Coach Galbraith, for you, what goes through your mind as you think back of the last 8 years when you got here with this program to where we are now with the Division I First Team All-American?
Well, we've come a long ways, and it's very satisfying and exciting to see the progress the team's made. And that's really what I wanted to do when we got here, is just continue to build on the success that Richard and his compatriots had built previously. And I think we did that. And having Coach Clay here was a huge benefit to me because he probably more than anyone understands and knows the history of the program. I mean, far back, you've researched even farther back from when you got here.
So Coach Clay, same thing for you. In the mid-'80s, I would imagine that Division I wasn't even a thought on anybody's mind. And here we are, 2019, Molly First Team All-American. There's been a lot of ground covered in that time.
Oh, there has it. I mean, every year, there's good years, not so good years, but I think that's true at any level. And but no, to see it come to this level, to get the higher level athletes attracted to the program, that you need to be a Division I. And obviously Molly has been a great representative of the university too. So, but I think, over the years, when you think about the transition and all that type of stuff, it's been pretty smooth. I mean, some bumps in the road, but moving from the North Central Conference Division II to the Great West, Big Sky, and then the Summit League now. It's nice to be back. I say back in the Summit League. We're in the Summit League, but we're with schools that were traditional rivals, and it's been a fun ride because it's just each year, like you say, overall I think the program has moved forward quite a bit. We still have ways to go if you want to win some championships at the Division I level, but I think we're on the right track to do that.
We'll go back straight to you with this question. A lot of memorable moments, no doubt, in 34 years, but as you start to think about your career as you guys both are nearing retirement, what do you look back on and think that was a pivotal point in the program, or boy, that really helped us get to that next level?
Well, I think if you think about a pivotal point, I'd been here about 6 years, 5 years, something like that, and we'd started to build the program, and we had our first year in cross country where we had gone to the national meet, and I remember recruiting for the next year, and one of the recruits that we had come in had made the comment to me when I was doing a home visit. It's like, well, I want to go somewhere where it's a successful program. And that's the first time that someone had actually said that, like, okay, that it was acknowledged by a recruit out there that we had a successful program. And I think, so when you think about a turning point in a program, I think that right at that time was a bit of a pivotal point for us. From a standpoint of just a single performance, boy, that's hard. That's hard to do. There's so many, as you know, coaching as long as you have, there's so many. I think some of the most fun things about the coaching was that person, that athlete who maybe performs beyond the level that you thought they were going to. It's like all of a sudden, whoa, you just won a conference championship. How did that happen? 4 years ago, you could barely make it around the track. But no, I mean, those are things. I think there's a lot of those memories that I think of that come to the top, and to single out any one would be, wouldn't do justice.
All right, so Coach Galbraith, same question for you. Arrive in 2011, you talked about transition at that point in time in the Great West and then into the Big Sky, and then here we are in the Summit League. There were a lot of those moments in those 8 years.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I can think back to, I can't remember what year it was. There's something amazing happens every day in practice. There's amazing things and really mundane things, and they're all sort of wound together. Stephanie Clark being the first conference champion in the Big Sky, that was an exciting day for me. Kind of going back to something that Richard said about, having a successful program, one of the things that you have to have for a successful program is really good coaches. And let's take a look at Molly for a second and even step back to indoor season, because Molly and Kylie Foster both made the indoor meet, the NCAA meet, which is actually harder to do than the outdoor meet. And you have to be in the top 12 or 16 in the nation, and it's on a descending order list. So we have really great coaches working with them. Drew Jones works with Molly, and Dan McCarty works with Kylie. They're both graduating, had great senior years. Molly had a great day at the regional meet. Kylie didn't make the NCAA final. Probably we'd wish she should have, but that's the track, right? You have to do it on the day. But the point I'm trying to make is every coach is sort of kind of like the captain of their area, and as a head coach, what you want to do is get the best people you can and then just get out of their way. And that's, I think we've been able to do that, and everybody's had success in every event group because everybody was passionate about what they were doing and trying to move forward and build something.
Yeah, and mission accomplished there for sure. You're looking at two guys who really brought this program to the Division I level. You talked about Coach Jones, talked about Coach McCarty, but you can't go on without mentioning Coach Miller, Coach Silvers as well, who were there right at the beginning of this Division I deal as we got into the Great West and then on into the Big Sky Conference. And we're here in the High Performance Center. We haven't mentioned that yet. That's certainly a turning point for this program, no doubt about it. And we thank all of the tremendous donors who helped make this facility possible. $19 million, all privately funded, and a special shout out to Altru, who committed $10 million up front to help get this thing going. But Coach Clay, both you guys, think back when you got here. We're running in the Hislop and maybe hosting meets there, and the flood of 1997 happens, and not a whole lot facility-wise going on at that point in time, but this facility has really impacted this program.
Oh, it has. There's no doubt. It's to be able to come in here, especially, you take this last winter that we had, a pretty brutal winter with snow and cold, and just to have the option of coming in here to be able to work out and to be able to do things that you can't do indoor in the little Hislop Sports Center. But you got to give a lot of credit to the alums, the student athletes who were here during that time. They had some pretty good success on really not much facility at all. So if you look back at a lot of the performances and all the events, and you think about what they were able to do and what they were willing to do as student athletes,
Coach Clay, did you ever go home some days from practice during those Hislop days feeling a little guilty about what you made people do?
Oh yeah,
I did. I did.
Like go out on the roads at 60 below. I mean, there were times distance runners would go out. We'd take them on the road 60 below wind chill, and they'd run in. You know, so to have those kinds of people
just so
on
you
your
said
team.
60 below.
60
right?
below, yeah.
Not
6-0. 6-0 below.
Yeah.
6 was nice.
Yeah.
You know, but
That's a t-shirt.
but I mean, they still go outside and run, but you can split things up now between going outside and coming inside. But no, those are things I just, when I think about what those people, they're the ones that, as student athletes, have built the program.
Yeah.
You know, they were willing to do those things, and to get that type of a person is pretty phenomenal when you think about what they accomplished.
And Coach Galbraith, same question for you. You talked about Steph Clark earlier. What do you say? It was 156 meters all the way around the Hislop if you run on the outside, and that was really where she trained.
Yeah.
And you trained her to a Big Sky Conference individual championship level in the 400
Right.
meters. What a change this facility has
yeah.
made on this program.
Absolutely. It never gets old walking in here. Every time I walk in, stand on the middle field, look around, and just like remember to be thankful, because there's a lot of places that don't have this, and remember where you were. And so it never gets old walking in here.
Coach Clay, the 2000 National Coach of the Year at the Division II level, and countless other regional and conference Coach of the Year honors in your 34 years here at the University of North Dakota. And I know you don't want to talk individually because there's been a lot of them, but you did have 2 individual national champions here at the University of North Dakota. As you think about those 2 and what they have done with their careers and their lives after college, what comes to mind with people like that?
Oh, people like that, and I think, you know, I think the success of a program. My college coach told me once that, you know, you'll know if you had a successful program 15 or 20 years down the road if you've been somewhere for a long time, because look at the people who went through the program. What are they doing now? You know, and I think if that's a measure of success, and I think it's been a successful program, because those people, what they're doing now, I mean, they're, you know, they've got families, they're good family people, good citizens. They're just doing a lot of great things. There was just an article in the Alumni Foundation, just an article on Missy Heilman, Missy Berg, and she started this Bio Girls thing that is, it's taking young athletes, young female athletes, and just working on, you know, encouraging them to be, you know, comfortable in their own bodies, comfortable in what they are, because with social media nowadays, and she's built that now. The article's on right now online, and she's built that into an actual full-time, not business, but it's a nonprofit, and she's in 4 or 5 different states now. So people, I just use her as an example. Marie Krapp, who was a national champion here, has built a business that's incredible. She started a business making wedding dresses, custom wedding dresses, and she just built that into a tremendous business. You know, Heidi Evans was a national champion. We were talking about the 2 national champions, and you know, she qualified for Olympic trials, and she's just working mostly in the fitness area and that type of thing. So, and her husband Mike Greenwood, who played football here, is an ophthalmologist down in Fargo area. So.
Coach Galbraith, same question for you. 8 years at the University of North Dakota, several other institutions as well. A little bit of a twist to it though. There's so much administratively that goes into running a program. It's not just writing the workouts and going to meets. One of the things you had the opportunity here to do at the University of North Dakota was help us into our Adidas contract. You were on the evaluation team that helped us do that, and there are certainly this facility as well, but a lot of administrative stuff that you've been a part of. As you look back at your career, not only from an individual standpoint, but just everything that you have been able to be a part of, not only here at North Dakota, but others as well, it has to make you feel really good, the amount of quality things that you have done.
Oh, absolutely. I've had many opportunities, not because who I was just fortunate enough to be the guy standing here when the building was built, when we got the Adidas contract. We were in the conferences we were in. it was a huge blessing and an opportunity for me to be here. And I'm just so very happy and proud to have been here.
Well, I sure hope as we sit here in 2019 that this video will continue to be referenced for years at the University of North Dakota for cross country and track and field. Like we talked about, two guys that have combined for 42 years of service with this program at this institution. And I think I can speak for everybody in the department and also the hundreds of student athletes that you guys have impacted in your life. Thank you guys for everything that you have done for our program.
It's been fun.
Thank you. I had a great time.